For our senior design project, we designed and developed a proven cost for a low-cost telemedicine station. Our faculty supervisors are Dr. Alegrado and Dr. Nelson. Our project manager is Sheryll Alegrado. I'm Wesley Chin, and this is Weiming Sun. What are telemedicine stations? Well, doctors need a method for getting data from their patients that are more than a commute away. Doctors are not always readily available for their patients. Our target consumer base consists of third world communities who live off of charity and community service work from doctors from around the world. But even after they spent their time in third world countries and service these patients, they still need regular medical checkups on their patients. And that's what a telemedicine station seeks to solve. Now this problem has been solved before, and we find that most of them are not very expandable, as in they're very specific to a single problem. Fundatel has a telemedicine station that is very specific to heart problems. The NDTA developed one specific for wounds. And the trauma station, as the name suggests, treats trauma. Beyond not being expandable to encompass more medical tests, they're also not very portable, and they're also very expensive. So with these three things in mind, we came up with our system requirements. We wanted to be cheap, so we wanted to cost less than $250. Why $250? Because we felt like an individual could afford it, while also a community can come together and also buy it together. We want it to weigh less than 5 pounds. Again, this comes back to the community. We want it to be shared among people, neighbor to neighbor. And obviously, since these people are different people with different sicknesses and different illnesses, we want medical device flexibility, meaning that one person in the community can have one sickness and maybe need to check, the doctor needs to know his temperature, while his neighbor has a problem with his heart, and so we need to know his blood pulse. Obviously, since we're dealing with medical data, we want to keep it encrypted across network lines, and because this is a telemedicine station, we want to display the data remotely. This is our system architecture, but in a much more simple graph, we have this. For the basis of our telemedicine station, we chose to go with a mobile device. Mobile devices are everywhere nowadays, with technology making it cheaper and cheaper to implement. They're very expandable with the USB port. Pretty much, as the name suggests, is universal. It's sending bytes of data is easy, and phone network is virtually available everywhere. So we chose to use mobile phones as the basis of our telemedicine station.
The first part of our system is the medical devices. Our medical devices are connected to the mobile device via USB. We chose USB because it's cheaper than its alternative solution of Bluetooth. Originally, our plan was to have a thermometer and a blood pressure monitor, and so our thermometer uses a thermistor to take your temperature, and the value that we receive from the thermistor is calculated into the temperature in degrees Celsius using a Stein-Hart equation. We originally found a blood pressure monitor that had USB capability. However, when we opened it up to investigate the type of USB chip it uses, it broke, and we had to create a pulse oximeter in its place. For our pulse oximeter, we have a black box in which you stick your finger into, and a phototransistor reads the amount of light that comes from an infrared LED, and based on the light density, it will calculate your pulse. The center of our medical desk test, we have a USB joint. It's completely compatible with an Arduino Uno, except for it's compatible with Android devices and has an extra USB port, which suited our design. Next, we have a mobile device. Our cell phone application was created using an Android 2.2 created for an Android 2.2 operating system. We chose 2.2 because it was advanced enough that it included the SDK libraries that we needed, and it was cheap enough so that our target consumer base can still afford it. Our application is numerically guided using a simple interface, and it also has audio and visual instructions to help guide the user throughout the application. Most of our application is running in the background, so it's not to confuse the user. In addition, we have them log in using a numeric user ID, so that they don't have much to remember, and in case they have limited literacy. They are presented with a menu of medical tests after they log in, and this menu can be expanded or contracted based on, to personalize it based on the user. It's going to be their temperature taking, blood pressure, their glucose, their EKG monitor. And after each medical test, the data is encrypted and then emailed to our server. Our server has a C# script that runs continuously in the background looking to grab email from our email account. Once it sees an email, it will grab it and put it on our SQL database. We chose a SQL database because it was simple and compatible, or it can be used locally and is compatible with C#. Then our information is put on the ASP.NET website and organized. We use ASP.NET because it is simple and compatible with both SQL and C#. As you can see from the screenshot of our website, it is sorted by patient ID, and it lists the patient name, the results from the medical test, and it includes two separate dates. The record date is the time in which the mobile device emailed the data to the server, and the receive date is the date and time in which the server received the information.
Here we have our video demonstration. First, we start in as a doctor. You start as a doctor, you have a password. Doctors specifically have passwords. Normal patients do not. It's pretty easy. There are two options, or two things to fill out: the patient ID and the name of the patient. That's all you need to become the patient. The server will do the rest in terms of matching doctors and patients. So we added the patient now. Log in. For this demonstration only, we don't have enough time to show you the thermometer. We're going to fast forward. Generally, our thermometer takes around, at most, 45 seconds, but hopefully it doesn't take that long. We get the data and we send it, and it uses email of the phone number, in which case you can see here, this is our table. Upon refreshing, now there's a whole new row to our table. And it does, there's a separate table for our pulse oximeter data. It's just
for the thermometer testing, we did the two tests compared to the commercial thermometer to our own thermometer. And the two tests is the normal body temperature and the armpit, and another one is in the water. And we also ask the nurse to test on real patient, but they reject us because we might face some legal issues. And the range we select, the temperature is between 34 to 38 degrees Celsius. That's the normal body temperature for the person who either have a fever or not. So the first with the collection of the first data, which is our digital thermometer is like a 0.7 degrees Celsius off. So we stop immediately and start doing collaboration. After full collaboration, our thermometer is off by only like 0.1 degrees Celsius and a couple 0.2 degrees Celsius up there. And for the pulse oximeter testing, we did 3 tests to compare with our own, and the one with the BP blood pressure monitor, because they have the pulse testing function, and we also use the old-fashioned one that self-counting. We feel like this more accurate. Also, the third one we use the app that's from iPhone for the testing, and with the comparison of all the results to the real testing, the error of the margin is between 3 to -4. So we feel this all over because for a normal heartbeat is between 60 to 80 for a normal person. The monitor cost is 132 cents, and about actually spent 332 because we by the BP monitor unfortunately broken it, and a couple books that we need for education. And the hours spent during the project was 328 hours, 25 hours. including developing, building, testing, integrating. And for the education time, we spent 250 hours, including the education, problem solving, and researching. Individual contributions, so you can see we do 2 different colors, one for wing and one health. Like Sheryll would be the Sheryll would be the monitor and the health estimator. So I work on BP, but unfortunately we ended up breaking it, so I work with the server. And the testing, Wesley would be the mobile phone server.
One thing we'd like to pass on to future groups is time management. Every group will tell you the same thing. It's all about time management, whether it's prioritizing this correctly or juggling courses, or altogether just prioritizing the group projects, like getting together and actually like taking time instead of just meeting up for 20 minutes and then saying delegating tasks. One thing we learned is definitely don't underestimate problems. Figuring out a solution is takes a lot shorter time than actually like creating the solution. But one thing that we found was very unique to our, what we believe is unique to our group, was that our distribution of labor ended up being a little bit uneven, but it was mainly because a certain team member, me, took monopoly of work. I sort of just wouldn't let anybody else help me. So be careful of people like me. We'd like to extend a special thanks for Dr. Kamino.
Not 5.0, dude.
Partaking in our terrible practice presentation. Thank you. Any questions?